Right here.
So maybe tell us a little bit about maybe Staten Island when you were a kid. What was Staten Island like?
Well, Staten Island, what I can remember, is when I was a little boy, I used to ask my father to take the family out for a ride. And at that time in Staten Island, when you say go out for a ride in Staten Island, there's a lot of farms out here and very few people. So we went on picnics when we went out that far, and we met a lot of people that we didn't see for years out there because it's such a long way and nobody wanted to go out that way.
Where, like down in the South Shore?
Tottenville and Charleston and all that, you know. But then my father took us across the bridge in 1965. And the first time he was on a bridge, and the first time I was on a bridge. So that's a good memory right there.
Which bridge?
So what else, Steve?
Which bridge?
Oh, the Verrazano.
The Verrazano Bridge.
The Verrazano Bridge, 1965, yeah.
And so what was like family life? What kind of food did you guys eat? What did your mom cook and your dad? Like, what did you guys eat?
To this day, my mother used to make my favorite, which is her spaghetti and her sauce. Then she used to make on top of that my favorite potatoes with beans and red gravy. That was one of my favorites. And then Easter time she made the Italian pizza, they call it. And there's a lot of good memories. So what else?
So you would all have, would you sit down each night all around the table?
Oh, yeah.
We would sit down for...
And every Sunday my father would make sure we all got together on a Sunday, and if anybody didn't make it, he got a little PO'd because he wanted the family to stay together and as a unit. And if you try to make some excuse that you're not coming, you better have a good excuse, because he's the kind of guy that like all the people around him, his whole family. And there's a lot of good memories.
You guys grew up in Mariners Harbor, right?
No. West Brighton.
West Brighton. So how did you guys get to school? Did you walk or take the bus?
We walked to school, yeah. Got PSA team. And it wasn't too far from where we used to live. Like Seneca Street and Broadway we used to live at. Of course, during the Depression, my father lost his job, and at that time, when you rented out, if you rent out a house, the landlord will come to you and say, look, Mr. Fevelo, either you buy the house or you have to move. We moved so many times within West Brighton, Port Richmond, and because my father couldn't afford the rent.
Really? So you were always moving?
So we had to get out, and my brother Jimmy was carrying a big bushel of dishes. We're so much that, moving so much, we didn't unload one basket.
Did you have gardens? Did you grow vegetables as your family? Would you grow?
Oh, no.
No gardens?
No garden at that time. My father-in-law did, that's May's father. He had a big garden.
What was your favorite memory as a kid? Do you remember anything very specific?
When I was a kid?
Yeah, besides your ride across the bridge, anything else like that?
Well, the greatest thing was when we started the band and I was in the band. And that was one of my great loves of playing the trumpet and being in the band with my three brothers. And we had a lot of good years of fun.
When did you start to learn the trumpet?
Oh boy, when I was in grammar school. Going back about 12 or 13 years old. Then I studied for a while, then I quit, then I went back again. Yeah, I remember that too. I did a very good. To this day, I still pick the trumpet up once in a while. But we had a lot of good days, and nothing I regretted, ever.
How did you meet Grandma?
Well, how did I meet that? That's a good one. Now, wait a minute. I met her through my sister. they used to work together in Sunshine Beauty Parlor on Jewett Avenue and what the hell's the name of that? And Cole, I think it was. And
that's right where I live now.
Yeah.
I live 2 blocks from there.
Yeah, that's where I met her, because they used to work together with beauticians, May and my sister. So that, and from there, the spin-off was they both learned their profession in McKee High School, hairdressing. So that's about it there.
And so what about the war? How did you find out you were drafted into the Army?
That's a good question, too. So back in 1943, I got a letter from the draft board that I was supposed to be inducted for February of 43, and I had to go to Whitehall Street, and then I was never away from home, because very, very lonely, because I was only 18 and a half years old. So never separated from my mother and father, but then I had to leave for 3 years, and that wasn't easy to take, but it made me grow up in a sense of the way.
You went to Whitehall Street in downtown Staten Island or Manhattan?
Yeah, Whitehall, in Manhattan.
In Manhattan, you took the ferry. Back then, there was just the ferries back then.
Yeah, I took the ferry.
There were no bridges.
No.
What was that like, living on an island that you could only get to by boat back then?
Well, it was kind of peculiar, because taking the ferry boat ride was a great thing. At that time was a nickel, I think. And that was the great thing, to take that long ride and to take the BMT subway and all that.
Yeah.
Which I never was much for that, but some kids like Alma, and yourself, and Johnny, and there was somebody was just like me. Patty don't travel that much, but they travel all over the place, different states. Now Barbara, she goes to all different countries, whether they're hostile or not. She goes there for this manufacturing that she's in. That's always a constant worry, her going.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
What was it like when you found out you were going to have your first child, Aunt Patty? What was that like?
Here's what happened. I used to get up at 5:30 in the morning, put my pants on, get ready to take the bus to go to work, because I didn't work on Staten Island for a while. Aunt May said to me, "You're not going to work today." I says, "Why not?" She says, "I'm getting pains." So I left at 5:45 in the morning to take her to Richmond Memorial Hospital, where she had the first child.
Did you know what? This is when you first found out she was pregnant, or this is when she was going to have?
Well, those days we had to go in to find out what kind of it's going to be, a male or female. Well, we didn't know what it was going to be, but it happened to be Patty, so that was it. And I'll never forget, we spoiled the hell out of her. So we used to we lived in an old house, and every time you walk on the floor, you hear. So after you just go up and down with the mattress and put her to sleep, you try to walk out of the room. Whoa! She would let one blast go. She woke up. I'll never forget that.
What are the other memories do you have of each of your children? What was your memory of Johnny, my dad?
Well, your father, it was my only son. You mean later on in years? No. No. Well, not too. I haven't got too much to say, but we enjoyed each other, though. Different things. I took Johnny was going to Sacred Heart School, so I said, John, to get in with those Irishmen there wasn't an easy thing to take, because I'm Italian and they're Irish. To break into that clan, we finally did, and I used to say, Johnny, oh, what a basketball player he was. Bad. So I said, Johnny, go after that guy. Get that guy. So consequently, he didn't play basketball too long.
Yeah, piano is more of his thing.
Yeah.
And so music has always run in the family,
Oh,
right?
yes. My father originally He played the mandolin. My mother's mother played the accordion.
Really?
Yes, yes. Yes, a lot of good memories.
It's funny
things like that you don't forget.
It does. The music runs throughout our
yeah.
family. Many of the members of our family.
Now, on a Sunday, I remember at 753 Delafield Avenue, where my father used to live, we'd all get together on a Sunday. And one day I got there a little early. My father has got his stereo on playing opera. It was so loud. And he used to get mad. Don't dare tell him, hey, Dad, make that softer. It's too loud. He'd get mad as hell. Yeah, but he loved music. He loved it. Oh, yeah.
And so later on, when you worked for the phone company, when did you start at the phone company?
Well, here's my story there. When I was in the Army for 3 years, then I came out and I saw one of my friends on a telephone truck. I said, hey, what the hell you doing up there? He said, Nick, go up to 101 Willoughby Street, they're hiring. They didn't hire him in over 20 years. So I did. I went up on a Friday, and they told me to come to work Monday, because they didn't hire anybody. It's what they need, people. So that's how I stayed there for all these years, 44 years.
You started there before you went to the Army?
Oh, no.
You got your first training...
Yeah, oh, wait a minute now. I forgot to tell you. When I left McKee High School, I graduated McKee High School, then I worked for Singer Sewing Machine in Bayonne, and actually I worked for them.
What did you do for them?
I worked, we're doing some government contracts. I used to make like little bushes and stuff. I only worked there about a year, so then I was drafted.
How would you get to Bayonne? You take the bus?
I took that little stupid little boat going across there.
You did, and then you'd walk over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, that guy, I remember that pretty good.
So when you were drafted...
Okay, I went to be inducted to Whitehall Street, and from there, I got on a train, and they took us down to Mississippi. There I was there for about a year or so, and then we went to training, and then from there we went overseas. And I spent 2.5 years in Europe, all the different countries there: France, Holland, Belgium, England. Marseille, no, not Marseille, but Marseille, you were there too. But what else? Luxembourg. Then we went back to, after we went to the tour of Europe, and we went to, where the hell was it? Back to Marseille, France, and we took a boat there, and a troop ship, then we went there through the Panama Canal, which we see in the locks that you read about, where the boat goes up like that. We witnessed all that. That was fabulous. And then, as you were going down past the Japanese-held islands, the captain got on the phone. He said, don't nobody talk, nobody cough, nobody do anything, because we're passing the Japanese-held islands. So that was all good. Then from there, we stayed a little over a year, and then the war was over. That's about it.
And what was your? Can you tell the camera your dog tag number?
Well, I can never forget my rifle number and dog tag number. Now my dog tag number was 074-186-8641. My rifle number was 1944-706. You never forget them, because they drilled it in your head so many times for 3 years. Your rifle number and your dog tag, you never forget it. To this day, that's over 50, 60 years ago, and I still remember it. I seen a dog fight between a Nazi plane and between an American plane. They both disappeared out of the sky. And another thing I witnessed, a lot of Germans, they were all prisoners, but they were all in single file. And the uniforms, they looked terrific. They didn't look as if they were beaten. They had stand up and so sturdy when they were walking and straight ahead. And all clean. I don't know how they got clean, but they did. They were all prisoners walking by us guys. Yeah, and I saw a German tank alongside the road. He was burned to us crisp, this one Nazi soldier. And the smell was bad, bad. But that's another one of my experiences. But I was very lucky to witness all this.
What other experiences did you have?
What other experiences? Not too much more. Nick, I gave you a lifetime there. Let's see, what else? And the experience about coming home from the army, getting out in one piece, like a lot of the guys I know. One guy lit a fire. We used to cook in our helmets, and like to cook up the soup or hash, whatever we had. One guy cooked on top of a what do you call it? It was like a small bomb, a booby trap. It blew up and blew his chest and his insides completely out. It was a disaster. Little things like that.
Wow.
Then we had another one of the guys from Brooklyn, a good man. He was a sergeant, and everybody loved him. He went to drink some of the German wine, and one day he drank so much, and then he had a girlfriend. He ran after her. He couldn't get a hold of her, so what he does, he takes out his gun and shoots her. He kills her. Then they trapped him. They took him right out of our outfit and put him in jail someplace.
You witnessed that? You were there?
Sure.
You were there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrible. You never thought a quiet guy like that would do that. He wanted a little poontang, you know?
Wow. What other stories?
Well, what other stories? Oh, I got a story I never forgot too, because the first night in Germany, they said to me, Fevelo, PFC Fevelo, at that time it was a PFC, you're on the 11 o'clock shift. I said, son of a was I mad? Please God, don't let them pick me. And they picked me. So I had to relieve this one guy. So I said to him, by the way, where is this motor pole they're talking about? It was pitch dark out there. So the guy says, keep walking. When you hit something, you'll be hitting a truck. Do not light a match. So what I did, being that I smoked, I took out my cigarettes and I forgot what the hell he said. I lit. When you put a match when it's all completely dark out, one guy was shooting over my head. He said, "Put that effing cigarette out." He goes, and I finally did, just scared as hell. But that's another one of my experiences. Hey Nick, I got some Italian Anderson cookies. You like them?
Yeah.
Don't watch that cup. There, that's terrible.
That was entertaining.
Daddy, say what you're going to say about the sign of the
Sorry,
cross.
Dada.
All right, now, when I get up in the morning, right, the first thing I do, I don't have my hearing aids on, but I do hear Anna the first thing in the morning. So then I put my
That's love.
turn around, I put my feet on the floor, I stand up, and I make the sign of my cross. I say, dear God, I made another day. Every day I do this. So then,
Well, what do you do at night?
He makes the sign of the cross at night, the sign of his cross in the morning.
At night.
I tell you, now I don't know how religious you people are, but this was a great week for the man that just went to Italy and received his promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Dolan.
Nolan. I think that was a wonderful.
Do you know what?
No fooling around, be straight.
No fooling around.
Get along with your wife. Make sure that she knows what she's doing. And
That's gonna take a long time.
you'll live a long life. No arguments. Don't argue. one has to be one to give in, because the compromise helps out a lot too.
Be as one.
You have a little finger.
Oh, Dalai Lama.
Fuck with that. Him out, I can't.
It's guys like you that cause guys like me.
What the hell is he?
I'm not
doing?
getting
I don't get that.
Guys,
What's more for you, Dan?
rain in
Thank you.
Spain falls mainly on the plains.
That's from a
Means that
play.
it never rains.
That's from a play called My Fair Lady.
Oh, I know that.
They would be a
Holy
lady,
pasta?
and they were saying that the rain in Spain was a song, and they were teaching her that particular those vowels in order to teach her how to pronounce.
Pronounce correctly.
Right.
Did a good job as usual, Mary.
Thank you, Dee Dee.
Very thoughtful.
Thank you, Dee Dee.
I'm just talking to Nicky for the last hour. Oh, what bullshit stories I was giving. He took everything down. I went through when I was drafted, when I was working, when I was overseas. He's got the full story. Nicky, you just want the interview, right?
Yeah.
He just wants it, that's all. Well, he's going to put me on TV or something, he said. So, all right, John. I'll talk to you. So long. Is that a bad-looking guy, Nick, eh?